The Forms Committee received over 50 suggested changes to the forms, and they were able to review over 30 of those. That resulted in 24 residential forms being amended, 7 commercial forms, as well as 2 new forms being created. The 2 new forms that were created are the wire fraud disclosure form and an amendment to the listing contract. Let's talk about the wire fraud disclosure. That is a form that the Forms Committee created as a result of the increasing wire fraud that's occurring in the real estate industry. It's really just a disclosure to your consumers to let them know about wire fraud, the risks associated with it, and who to contact if it were to occur. The second new form is the amendment to listing contract. This is just a blank amendment to the listing contract that can be utilized to modify any of your terms to the listing contract, and it can be utilized with all of our listing contracts. The 5 addenda that were modified this year include the contract for deed addendum, the counteroffer addendum, the lead-based paint addendum, the short sale, and the septic and well inspection contingency. We did modify 2 amendments to the purchase agreement, including the buyer movement agreement and the seller rent-back forms. We also modified the representation contracts and the facilitator services agreements. That includes for both sale and lease. In addition to that, we modified the one-time showing contract, and we also modified the disclosure forms, including the seller's property disclosure statement and the arbitration disclosure form, and residential real property arbitration agreement did have a significant change this year. On the commercial forms side, we did have 7 forms change. That included changes to the purchase agreement and the addendum to the purchase agreement contract for deed. We also made changes to the one-time showing contract and the representation contracts on the commercial side as well. These primarily are the same changes that were made on the residential side. Stay tuned for more forms updates and keep on closing.